Yes. So we have started recording also. So let me introduce myself. Myself, Sachin Kumar Singh. I'm one of the co-founders in Attendance Master app, and I'm basically handling area related to the business and customer relationships. And you will mainly find me solving your queries and helping you out uh, doing using the app. So let's start for the today. So most of the people, most of you already know attendance app. This is basically started as a small app and it's been around 3 years. We are in the market and we are working on like continuously improving our app and we have added a lot of features and thank you. Thanks for sharing this. Good. Okay, so basically this is mobile based and employee management app where you can manage your employees tracking. You can add employees, link them, you can manage their tracking, you can manage their attendance, they can punch in, punch out, you can do the claims processing, you can manage their leaves, you can assign them targets, and you can also share save the payment details like advance and salary slips and holidays, and there are much more smaller features which we will come across during this presentation. So let me just go through the overview about the app. So you can download it from the Play Store and use it. So basically our app is having 4 types of users. Uh, so first type is an employer, where employer can be a company, a zone or region. Anybody who is registering to Attendance Master app to manage their employees for the first time, they can be an employer. So it's same as company, and they can divide their company into zones and regions. So whatever it can be, at the first entry point for on the Attendance Master app is an employer. Then another comes as an admin. Suppose there are multiple people who are in the business and they are working as a business partner, and so employer and admin is basically same. And you employer once employer registered, they can add admins, and admins are having same access as employer. They can do the same thing whatever employer can do. They can see same reports, they can manage their employees also, they can add, remove employees, all those things which an employer can do, admin can also do. So for example, business partners who are interested in seeing all the details with the employer, they will be logging as an admin. So next is employee. Employee is a normal employee. Once employer registers, they add employees, and for every employee there is an access code. Employer invites those employees to use the app. When employee logs in, they they have to select this option as an employee. It will ask for the access code which you can get from their employer. For every employee there is a unique access code. So after you put select type as an employee and put right type of right access code, you will link with the employer. So basically employees are company employees. And the employee supervisor. So it's supervisor is same as employees, but they have some special access. It's like approving leaves and approving claims and doing some taking someone's attendance, someone else's attendance, and scanning the other employees QR codes. So whenever employer is adding a new employee, they have option to specify employees as a supervisor. So employee is can be business unit wise heads with the extra rights like scan QR, process claims, marking attendance for other employees. So these are the basically user types for main user types on Attendance Master. Now, straight away, we are going to the employer menu. So once employer registers and they land on a page, that is the menu. And the menu having several options over here, you can see on the screen. So I'll go one by one and explain what are their features. So first of all is first option is an employee. So in employee, they can add, edit, delete employees. They can see their ID cards also, and they can share employee ID cards with QR code or without QR code. So let me show you how it looks. So this is an employer registered with the in my mobile on a screen. So if I go to my employees, I can see all the list of employees. So supervisor employees are specifically mentioned as a supervisor, and their status is also mentioned that they are linked or invited or something like that. And there are three options for the employees. First one is a QR code, which is you can see the QR code for the employees. It will be similar as ID card, and you can choose option to show QR code or hide QR code. So if employees are having profile pictures updated, that will be also displayed here. You can download and share ID cards from here with the employees. Another one is the editing employees. Suppose you want to change some data about the employee, you can click here. You can check the employee details, whatever details you have provided earlier. You can edit those details from here, and once you edit it, it will be updated. And third one is to simply remove any employee. If you want to delete some employee, you can do it. And here you can see there is an icon at the bottom where you can, by clicking on it, you can add new employees. So this was like how employee adding and downloading QR code works. So next is manage employee attendance. You can see there is a attendance option. You can go to attendance. You have option to filter out on the basis of business unit. I will explain later on what is a business unit and how it works. And you can check daily attendance, weekly attendance, and monthly, and you can also filter it. Also, you can mark their attendance, edit their attendance anytime, and you can also download and share the daily attendance report. And you can also download and share timesheets. So timesheet basically all the data for a particular employee for a month. So you can navigate months from here, and whatever month is selected here, you'll be able to download and share and the timesheets for that particular employee. Okay, so this is how attendance works for employer perspective. Okay, so now the linking part. So once you add employee, you have to link employee. If employee is having a smartphone, you can link those employees with the employer account. So for linking, what you have to do, there is an option link employee. So once you add an employee, every employee will have a different access code. You can see in pink color, there is an access code for different access code for every employee. So this is linking is basically first one-time activity, and you have to do it once. From the next time, whenever employee log in the same credentials, they will be able to like log in into their employee account. So to share the access code, you can just click on this share icon. Whatever sharing options you can share using email, you can copy, you can message, you can WhatsApp. Anyway, whatever options available in your mobile, you'll be able to share the access code. So once you share the access code, what employee does, employee downloads the same app. They log in using any of the means, and on the next screen, which I showed you earlier, they have to select user type as an employee. When this will select user type as an employee, they will ask for the access code and they have to put that access code. So once they put the correct access code, they will be linked and their status will be updated as linked over here. If you see this employee, the first employee is linked, so it shows linked. Other one is the not linked yet, so it shows as invited. Okay. Next is managing employee finance. You can manage advance payments and generate salary slip for the employees. So if you go to the payments, so for payments, salary slips to be generated, there is one restriction that you have to provide the financial information for the employee. To provide the financial information, when you are adding employee, you can do it, or later on you can also provide the financial information. Let me show you how financial information look like. So if you go to the last option here, you'll be able to see the made salary mode and salary amount, number of leaves allowed. So all these things, if these things are provided, you'll be able to generate the salary slip. When you will try to generate the salary slip for the employee, it will ask to update the financial information. So if I go to the payments, from payments, I can manage two things. One is the salary slip, another one is the advance payment. So in my company, a lot of people are taking advance uh, before they are getting paid their salary during the month. So you can update all those advance information from here. Suppose some employee take 50 rupees. I can select the payment date from here and put some description and mark as paid. So this advance is paid and total advance balance is showing here 1050. You can also mark them that advance as a settled. So as you mark this as a settled, it will be deducted from the advance balance. So let me show you how you generate the salary slip for a particular employee. So you click on the salary slip. One most important thing regarding the salary slip, when you are generating the salary slip for the daily payment employees, there is no restriction for the start and end date. You can select any start and any date. But when you are generating salary slip for the monthly employees, you have restriction to select start and end date in the same month. Okay, and so if I want to generate the salary slip for this employee for suppose only single day, how much payment I have to make for a single day. So it will show me the amount. So it shows total payment amount is 1000 USD because monthly salary is 30,000 and the current advance balance is 1050. So payable balance amount is 50 rupee 50 USD only. From here you can also download and share the salary slip with the employees. And one more option is there, download the salary sheet. In salary sheet, what happens, you will get salary report for all of the employees who are displayed here, provided their attendance detail is completely filled. If their attendance detail is not filled, that during that date range you have selected during when you are generating the salary sheet, it will be omitted from the list. So if you are having missing some employees from this list, it means their attendance is not complete and you have to complete their attendance before generating the salary slip for the date range. So this was mainly about the payments. Next, manage employee claims. I will explain it later because it is initiated from the employee profile. And manage leave applications. I will also cover it later on. And week off and holiday list. So you can create a week off and holiday list for your employees. And week off is weekly off days. You can apply monthly, and holiday list you can add anytime. Suppose I want to add a holiday for the 25th December and I select the date and add holiday. So this when I will apply this, it will be this holiday will be applied to all employees, and all employee will get a holiday on this date. So this is how holidays works, and employees can access these holidays. So let me just open employee profile over here. Okay, so it's opening now. So after holiday list, it comes manage admin. I already told manage admin is the same as employer, but only employer can add admin. So you can go to the admins and you can manage admin list from here. You can add your first admin. So you have to provide the admin email ID, and admin email ID should match from the email ID which admin is trying to log in. Only then they will be if they will be you'll be able to join as an admin, and admin also gets a 10-digit access code, so they have to provide when it is asked while they are trying to log in. Okay, this was about so let's come to the managing business units and employee tagging. Suppose multiple business units, you are having managing a multiple business units. You are a construction company, and you have 5 business units. You are a mobile shop and mobile agency, and you are having a number of business units. So what you can do, you can create your business units from business unit option. So you can create business unit, and you can tag employees in those business units. Suppose this shows only one employee is tagged to this business unit, and you can filter these employees and their attendance on the basis of business unit in attendance report and employee list. Also, when you assign a supervisor for a business, so if some employee is a supervisor and it belongs to a business unit, they will be able to access data for their own business unit only. I'll come to that supervisor part later on, how it works and what are the access and the control given to the supervisors employees. Next one is the QR code scan. So suppose there are some employees who are not having smartphones in their company. They are not having smartphones, and you also want to take their attendance through attendance master app. So what you can do, you can so I've already shown you the QR ID cards for the employees. You can take the printout of those QR ID cards and give distribute to those employees. And there is a option QR scan. So when you open QR scan, it will open camera with the QR code scanner, and you can scan that QR code here. Once you scan that QR code, present attendance for the particular day will be marked here. And if in the same day you will try to scan QR code once again, it will mark punch out for the same day. So the last swipe is considered as a punch out, and first swipe is considered as a punch in and QR scan. So this QR scan option is also available in supervisor profile. I'll come to that later. So normal employees who are supervisor, they can also scan the QR code for other employees. Okay, managing settings. So employer is having a setting option. They have like access. They can give access, and they can do some settings to the app. So first one is the late time setting. So whenever if some employer wants that if an employee punches in after that particular time, it will be marked as a late. So they can set the late time from here. Another one is enabling and disabling selfie attendance. And, employers can enable it. So once employer enable, employees have to take their selfie every day when they are trying to punch in on the workplace. Next is the supervisor claim approval limit. I told you that there are some controls given to the supervisor. So employer can control those permissions from here. If you want your supervisor to approve or reject claims, you can enable claim processing from them, and you can also mention the max claim amount they can. Apart from that, there is another option enabling attendance marking. So if you want your supervisors to mark attendance for their own business unit, they can mark their attendance from their supervisor profile, their supervisor menu for their own business unit employees, and employer can also log out from here. Okay, so this was basically employer menu, how it works, and let's go to the employer tabs. How what are the features and what they signify? So if you'll see, there are multiple tabs for the employer menu. I have already discussed. There is a feed, tracking, and the targets. So feeds are basically all the updates which an employee does. Suppose an employee comes to work and tries to punch in. So if he tries to punch in, so employer will get the notification in the feeds that this employee has punched in at this point of time from this location, and another option, another thing which comes in the feed is a shared location. So if employee shares his location from somewhere, they can share it. So once location is shared, it also goes to the employer feeds. They can see. Apart from that, punch out is also considered, and if employee closes and updates any targets, that is also comes under the feed. Another thing which comes under feed, employers can send announcement to their employees. As you will see, there is a at the bottom there is an icon. So if you click on this icon, share an update option will be opening. You can send some announcement. Suppose gather for the meeting, and you want to send all of your employees. You can also attach if you have some image. So this image is attached and you want to send to all the employees. It will show how many employees it will be sending. So once you click on send, employees will get this in their feeds. You go to the employees will be able to see that there is an announcement gather for the meeting at this time, and they can also see the attachment which employer has attached with the announcement. And one more thing, from the feeds, employees can also send notification and status report to their employers from the feeds. So suppose employee wants to share an update, I won't be joining, okay, and he wants to send it to the employer. So it also comes to the employer that this person has updated their status that he will not be able to join. So this is how feeds work. It is a two-way communication between the employer and an employee. Whatever communication and whatever updates happening, they comes under the feeds. It's just like so like whatever happens in the Facebook, and people are sharing your things, and so this is basically update real-time updates you are getting uh, about your employees. And one more thing about the feeds, You can these are organized with the date, so you can access daily feeds using these date navigation, and you can see what was the updates and status in the feeds for every day, whatever the status was coming. Okay, so I hope everything is clear till now about this feeds and whatever we have covered till now. Any questions? You can unmute your microphones and you can ask. You can also ping me if you have any questions. Anybody having any questions till now? Queries? Okay. So I see participants still coming. Good. And so let's go to the one of the most important part, and I would say one of the most controversial part, that is tracking, and how tracking works, and how you can track your employees. So let me tell you about tracking. So there are two types of tracking. One is knowing the last location of the employee. Other one is looking like knowing the real time location. And so if you go to the tracking part, so if in employee profile, if you go to the punch in and punch out screen, you will be able to see multiple options. Uh, Punch in, punch out, and lunch break, and all this. And if you will go to the employer, you will see first by default it shows the employer location where the employer is at this point of time. And when you click on view all, so view all is basically shows all the employees on the map at the time. So if I'll show you example of some of our one of our clients. So this is image for tracking view all screen for one of our employer. They are having employees at different countries, different locations. So this is HRD media from Indonesia, Malaysia, I think. So they have distributed employees. They when they click on view all, they see this kind of image. So whenever they want to know individual address, they click on the icon and they will get to know about this. Yes. So basically, view all is to show all of your employees on the map. So suppose this and this, so both are at different locations. I have those locations. So view to track an employee in real time, you have to select a particular employee from this list, and if employee is punched in and is not punched out yet, you'll be able to track them. To track it, employee must have GPS enabled and they should have mobile data enabled. Otherwise, their updates will not come to the employer. So if I want to track this employee, so I'll click on the track. So I will get a closer view of that particular employee location. Now I'll show how this how efficiently this tracking works. So I'm going to uh, place some locations here, and as location will be changing on employee profile, they will be also changing in employer. So this is how real-time tracking works. So as employee moves, you see in the smaller mobile, as employee is moving, the location is also updating in the employer profile. So employer is able to track their employee in the real-time location, real-time manner. So if anyhow this location is not coming, something is not coming, it means there is some gap between the permissions, might be accuracy in the location settings, or might be some reason, some regional reasons, network and all. And sometimes people complain that they are not able to punch in, even again and again it shows that address is not found. They can click on this refresh icon. Employees, once employee clicks on this refresh icon, it gets the latest location of that particular employee. And still if it is not resolved, just restart the app couple of times. Sometimes when user logs in initially, it is not able to track. So this is how tracking works. If you see, as employee is moving, employer is able to track them. So since I have jumps in my location, so it will jumping. Otherwise, if user is a salesperson or user is moving streamline, it will show just like Uber and other apps how location changes. So this was about tracking. So if I want to stop this tracking, I will just on my location. I'll go to my location. I'll stop this. And once employee punches out, this tracking is disabled. Employer will be able to see tracking, live tracking, only while this employee is not punched out. So once employee is punches out, they will not be able to track them in real time. Okay. So see how this tracking has been stopped. So any queries related to the tracking? No. Okay. So employee feeds I have already covered. So send and receive announcement to the employees, updates like punch in, punch out, shared location, target update, etc. Employee real-time tracking I have already shown, tracking, punch in, punch out. Okay. Next is managing daily targets. So targets is like suppose you are a service company or you're a sales company, and you are a salesperson having different visits to different sites. So targets is on the daily basis. It's like you can create targets, and those target has to be completed by that day, or they have to move to another day. So suppose if I go to a particular employee from employer, so if I see yesterday this person had one target, and he has employee also, he had one target, and it shows as closed. So employee and employer both can create a target. Suppose an employee creates a target for a particular day. Suppose it creates for the today, that client meeting at CP, and he creates the target. Once the target is created, it comes to the employer profile that this employee has already created a target, and right now this target is open. So now what employee does? Employee goes to that particular location and he does his work, takes a screenshot or attaches a photo of the that that target has. It can be a bill, it can be a selfie, it can be anything. So once the target an employee puts some comment, closing target, and close the target. So this target closes, and whatever proof employee attaches with the target, it will come to the employer. They will be able to see the attachment, what was updated as a proof. So target is very it's similar to the leads, and it's similar to the task, but it's on the daily basis. Suppose your field worker has to visit 4 places, or someone is having five scheduled tasks as milestones, they can complete it from here. So this is how targets work. Employees and employer both can create the target, and both can assign the targets, but they'll be getting to know. And you can also filter targets from here, how what are the status of those targets. Okay, so this is how targets work. Let's go to the employee menu. So most of the things I have already covered. Employee attendance report, employees will be able to see their attendance report, and let me show you how it shows. So in menu, my So this is how they can filter, and the number of mark attendance and all the general details about the report, about the attendance. Next is the my payments. My payments is basically the advance employee has taken and their status. Another one is the leave. So I didn't discuss the leaves earlier. So employees can apply for advance leaves, and those leaves come to the uh, employer account, and employer have to approve or reject, have to take action on those leaves. So suppose there is some employee who wants to take a full day leave. He specifies that he wants leave on 22nd and puts some comment and applies it. So they will see, it will show one an employer profile, that one new leave is there. Employer goes there and he can take action on approve or reject. So if employee approves, so this leave has been approved. And since leave for 22nd has been approved, and if employee now visits to their report 22nd, it will show them as a leave. So you see 22nd is applied as a leave. So this is how leaves work. And right now only employer can approve leaves, and in future supervisor will also able to approve leaves for their business unit employees. Next is so suppose the employee is on the field or goes to some business visit, they have expenses, and so expenses work on monthly basis. And if an employee applies for the expense, it goes to the employer and a supervisor depending on the limit. So fuel claim expense date, should I give this? And amount is like 500 rupees, and submit the claim. So if no bill attached, it says that you are you sure to submit the claim, continue, and it comes under the claims. So for an employee, general brief history, brief records are shown, that what is the pending, approved, and paid claims for him. And here for the employer, it is also shown what is the total leave, so claim balance. The fuel claim is still pending. By goes and approves it, employer approved, and once it is approved for the both, and this amount will come into approved. So once it is approved, it has to mark as a paid to close it, and employer can mark them as a paid. So once it is paid, it will like 600 USD has been paid in November to this employee as a, and this is the total amount for the employer, how much employer has paid to their employee as a claim. So, leave and status tracking we covered, claims reimbursement, and access to holiday list. Employees can see the holiday list whatever they have. Employees can also see their ID cards from the ID card option, and employees will be able to see their profile, and in their profile they are able to update their profile photo. So if employee goes to this my profile option, they have option to upload a profile picture. They can upload details, whatever compensation and salary they are getting. And next is the settings. In settings, there is a single option for the logout if employee wants to log out from their account. So this is basically employee options. And next is employee tabs. We have already discussed the feeds, how it works. We have also discussed the attendance, punch in and punch out. And we have also discussed the target management for this. So no need to go into this. Now going to the supervisor. So I have already told employer can give some special access to the supervisors from their setting screen. And here you will be able to see I have enabled this employee for the claim processing. I have set a limit of 100 rupees for this employee. So this employee will supervisor will not be able to approve claims above 100. It will be able to approve claims which are below or equal to 100 rupees, and enable attendance marking. If I want this particular supervisor to mark attendance manually from for their business unit, they will be able to do it. So if you will see, if the employee is a supervisor, they have a different. They have some more extra options. Supervisor menu. If I go to the daily report attendance, so if you see one business unit is displayed here, it means that this particular supervisor belongs to this particular business unit. So attendance related to this business unit only uh, allowed for this particular employee supervisor, and supervisor cannot mark their attendance from here. They have to mark from their punch in punch out. They can mark for other people, but they cannot mark for themselves. So this is how supervisor attendance report, and this is the same with the claims. Supervisors will not be able to approve or reject claims for their own claims. They have to their claims will go to the employers or admins. And there is another option for the QR scan. So QR scan is one of the most important because employer is not present at all the sites or all the business units. So I would suggest when you are creating a business unit, add a supervisor to that particular business unit. And if your construction people who are not having smartphones and educated enough, you can give them a printout of QR code. Supervisor, they come to the supervisor scans their QR code, and their attendance is done for the day. So this is one of the important features for the people who are having bulk employees in the construction sites at different business units. So in single business unit, you can also have multiple supervisors, but if the business unit is having small, you can have one, or you can depending on the number of business people in a particular business unit. So this was about the supervisor. And, so mainly from our side, this covers everything from my side, and you can contact us on our email ID. We have two different phone numbers. You can contact us anytime. If phone is not free, you can WhatsApp us, and WhatsApp link is also there, and you can join our Skype group so that you have access to the recordings, and whenever new trainings and new features are coming, you will be getting training over there. And one more thing I want to show that we have also launched a loyalty program where we have created a wallet for every employer where you can refer your employees. So refer your people in if you like our app and want to other people to use it, and so you can also have some benefits from it. You can share your referral code and you will see a wallet balance over here. So once you share the referral code, other person who is login as an employer, they have to put this referral code and apply when they are registering. And whenever they will subscribe for the first time, you will get 10% whatever subscription they will be doing in your wallet balance. And this wallet balance will be you will be able to use when you are subscribing. So when you are subscribing, the wallet balance will automatically deduct. Suppose if you are renewing the subscription, and this will deduct from your balance, like whatever balance is there. Okay. Okay, and you can request support call back from here. You can call or WhatsApp from here, and we have already support screen over here. You can contact us and follow us on Facebook or email or WhatsApp, anywhere you want. So this covers from my side. So now I'll be opening to the question and answers. So if you have any question, you can turn on your microphone and you can ask, or I'll try to answer them. If I don't have answers, I'll bring them back to you. So one question I have: admin can claim for advance, admin can apply for leave application. So basically admins are normal admins is higher level or same as employer. So what they have to do, they have to add themselves as an employee, and when they add themselves as an employee, they can do anything what a employee does. And apart from that, admin is a higher level, so they don't need any claim or anything else. So this is how